How's it going, everybody? My name is Killer Turkey 1000. This is another daily driving vlog, and what we're about to do today is a little bit refreshing compared to what you're used to seeing.
Well, it's an 82 Cutlass. It's a Calais model, which is actually the top-of-the-line car that you can get at 82. Later on, they had the Hurstolds and the 442, but this was as close as you could get.
And as you can tell, it has no exhaust.
It has a full exhaust, actually. But this car came from the factory as it sits. The color's not right, but T-tops, bucket seats, floor shifter, sports steering wheel, rally gauges, rally wheels, special trim. I mean, and this beautiful velour on the door panels. I mean, this car's nice. Or at least it was. It was nice 30 years ago. Powered by a 3.8 liter Buick V6. Engine they made it for 52 years and 38 different models or something like that. I mean, it's unkillable.
Well, I don't know about that.
This engine found its way in so many cars for so many years. They made millions of these things.
Yeah.
In fact, the very last one of these engines that was ever built was signed by all the people that built it, and I think it's in the GM Heritage Center right now. But don't remember where it went. But either way, it's a fantastic engine. They run forever if you just take care of them.
Well, that goes for any engine.
Well, yes, but except for the Ford Triton.
Good point. You can treat those things like a dream and they'll just shoot spark plugs.
But, so this engine, it's a decent performer. I mean, it's not... From the factory, it made 110 horsepower and 190 pound-feet. So it's really nothing special, especially in the 80s with, smog and tight cylinder heads and things like that. But these older 80s, 70s engines, if you just make them breathe, they'll perform pretty well. And speaking of breathing, I'm running an open carb right now, and who cares? I change the oil every 500 miles anyway, so.
Yeah, it's no big deal.
This engine is actually bored 40 over with a 10 undercut crank, so it's like a 240. Factory it's 231, so I don't know, maybe it's a 235, 238, something like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't really make much of a difference. But the cool thing about this engine is not only how cheap the parts are, but its, history, and it's a 90-degree V6, so it sounds fantastic at idle. I mean, it sounds like
a V8.
It sounds like a pissed-off V8 at idle. I mean, anything beyond, like, 1800, it starts to sound like a V6, and at like $3,000, it sounds really cool. But
right.
For the most part, yeah, you can tell it's a V6.
Plans with this vehicle, from just dream build for this car. What is it? What do you want to do?
The plans for this car are rebuild this motor, build it for boost. I'm looking at $2,000 worth of internals. Because these engines are kind of hard to build. Right. Everybody always says, "Oh, throw a V8 in it. Put a Chevy 350 in it." But no, I don't want to do that. Thought that was a cop.
You're not speeding.
Even if I am, you can't tell.
Right.
So the plan is to build this motor, much to the dismay of everybody else, and build it for boost, and I do plan on putting a turbo on it. Everybody's going to jump in with, "Oh, it's the Grand National motor." No, it's not going to be at all, not even close. I'm not going to be making 300 horsepower out of this thing in a sub 5 second 0 to 60. No, that's not happening. But it is going to be a boosted, it will be similar to Grand National, only in the way that the car has the same suspension.
Bye.
So,
alright, so you were saying you were on the suspension. It's going to have the suspension of a Grand National. Sorry, I had a phone call.
So I was talking about how, everybody will say, "Oh, it's a Grand National motor, it's a Grand National." I'm just like, no, they're only similar. This car and that car will only be similar in the way that...
Wow, he's a dumbass.
They'll only be similar in the way that, yes, they have the same chassis and they have the same suspension.
But that's going to be it.
But that's going to be it. It gets up nicely, and it is a posi rear, so I mean, it'll do a mean burnout if it has the power for it.
Right here, I bet you do a pretty mean burnout on some nice loose gravel.
I wouldn't call it a burnout, but...
Yeah.
Yep, that's about all she's got. Today I drove it around. I rarely ever drive this thing automatic.
Right.
And so I tried it for a couple of blocks, and I was like, okay, this sucks. How did I ever drive this car this way? Because for the longest time I didn't have a shifter cable in this thing.
Right. So you had to go with the column.
Yeah, I had to rotate the column, and I don't even know how I did it. I mean, this thing is so slow if you don't manually shift it. Plus, it sounds cool downshift.
Yeah.
But in 2.5 years, I have put 5,208 miles on this thing.
That's it?
When I bought it, it had 91,432.
Huh.
I'm at 96,641 now.
Nice.
In 2.5 years and 5,000 miles, I have changed the oil 3 times. It's gone through 4 sets of spark plug wires because I can never find any that fit, looked good, or worked. I could never find any that did all 3 of those things.
Right.
Because I found those yellow ones looked really good, but they didn't fit because they were huge. And
Right.
I shocked myself on it multiple times. You know, if it was dark out, you could see it sparking
Right.
when the engine was running. So those ones were crap. These ones do that too, and they're brand new. I got these in May. Well, they're a year old, but still, they shouldn't be messed
Doing
up.
that.
But I do plan on getting chrome valve covers. I'm sort of not...
I thought you were totally against that.
I know. I'm not abiding by my own rules, which is chrome don't get you home. You know, a motor can look real good, but perform like crap. The mid-70s, you know, like the CJ5, like the Renegade?
Right.
By the mid-70s, AMC had been using that tooling for so long that it got worn out completely.
Really? God, this thing sounds nice.
So, by the mid-70s, you know how they started putting those stickers down on the fender that says Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
They did that because the stamps were stamping Juke into the fenders.
Nice. Yeah, fuck it, we can make it. God, I love this thing. I like how you do that right in front of a cop with his lights on.
Oh, he's going where... Damn, he is hauling ass.
Woo! America!
America!
Fuck yeah! But as always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, don't forget to hit a like button down below in the bottom down there. Leave a comment, let me know what you want to see next, and do not forget to subscribe. That is one of the best things you could possibly do. Just hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, yes.
They have to make that a button now.
Bye!